Yeah, I want to talk about playing a walking bass line on a blues and also on a jazz standard, a couple of approaches for adding some movement, some bass movement to your rhythm playing over blues or jazz type of changes. Let's start with a 12 bar blues. Try that again. You might notice that I'm keeping the chords pretty simple, not playing big bar chords. That's part of the technique. And I'm only playing with my fingers here. Filling in with the bass line, the 1, 3, 5. On the A chord, just playing a root on the fifth string of the fifth fret of the sixth string, seventh on the fifth fret of the fourth string, and the third on the sixth fret of the third string. I'm letting my first finger mute the fifth string, so I get an abbreviated A7 chord, not this or this. No big bar chords here. We don't have time to really play big bar chords. On the D chord, a simple triangle of a 5, 4, 5 on the fifth, fourth, and third string is fine. Some people like to play this F sharp an octave higher, something like this. Go ahead and play that on the E chord. Okay, so again, that the D and the E chord are frets 5, 4, 5, or on the strings 5, 4, 3, and then fifth fret, 7th fret on the second string is the other way to play the D7 chord, and also the E chord. Whatever you like, whatever sounds right to you is fine. Season to taste. So that's the first one. That's your 12 bar blues. There are many variations. There's tons of variations, but we're keeping this simple today. And we're keeping it to a very regular 1, 3, 3, 5, 3, 1, 3, 5, 3 kind of a bass line. Very simple. It's kind of a shuffle, swing. That's example for the blues. The next one, to play a jazz standard, there's a couple of approaches that you need to know. The first and most important one is the approach tone. You're approaching your target note from above or below that target note. Let's say you were going to play a C major 7, A minor, D minor, G7, your root notes would be C, A, D, and G. But your bass line could go gives you're moving from chord to chord a nice flow, a leading tone, a tone that leads to the next chord, the next root of the next chord. You want to be use this liberally, but not all the time. There are times when you really would rather use a fifth, and using a fifth, just what it sounds like. Let's see, you would go. Well, okay, that last one was a leading tone, but instead of leading to the A, you're going to the fifth of C, which is a G, and the fifth of an A, which is an E, then fifth of a D, which is A, and then G. The D is the fifth of G. Usually what you end up doing is playing some combination of both, and so that it doesn't become too monotonous, too much the same all the time, and just because certain fingerings and certain chord progressions will kind of dictate how you want to play it. So I'm going to throw in just a substituting the one chord for putting a 3 chord instead of the 1 chord on the second and fourth measure here. So you see the, I'll try to do both here. I think I mixed them up reasonably well there. So you get a variety of, or at least a couple of patterns working, over the 5 chords here that we just played. So that's a quick kind of a rundown. Of course, here again, there's lots of variations. Understanding how a bass works for a guitar player is kind of a natural, because the bass, for the lower 4 strings of the guitar are the same tuning as the bass. The bass is just an octave lower. They overlap in range slightly. It's such a function. The nice thing about playing guitar is that we have the ability to play a bass line like a bass player, to comp the chords like any chordal instrument would do, a guitar or an auto harp or a piano or something like that. And also we have the ability, of course, to play a solo or a melody, a melodic line, which makes really the guitar one of the really most versatile instruments, along with piano. And no surprising, not too big of a surprise that they're probably the two most popular instruments worldwide. So that is a little brief tutorial on bass lines over blues. Again, we have the simple 1-3-5-3 over a blues. Jazz it up here just a little. Here. it's taken the blues to a jazzier place to just show you a few examples of where you can go with this style. It's a beautiful style for backing up a singer or another soloist, and for a solo guitar player you're doing the job of two people at once. Also, quickly, just the playing the fifths. Walking, always leading tones. All leading tones. Okay, thanks. And any comments about this video are welcome. And thanks for listening. Bye.